well. So tonight, again, I'll try to minimize all of my long-winded explanations of some amazing topics for you to be able to review all this on your own time as well. So again, eloquence in brevity. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I want to do is I want to do some introductions because there's some very important people here that are going to be helping you on the admissions process to our school. The first microphone I want to pass is to Mrs. Ann Forrester. She's our Director of Admissions. Go ahead, Mrs. Forrester.
Hi, I want to welcome all of you here tonight. I had some email correspondence with all of you, and so I'm really excited to see all of you in attendance here, and we are so happy to be sharing our wonderful school with you. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Mrs. Forrester. And the next microphone I'm going to pass over to Mr. Lippert. He is our head of school here at Willows Prep.
Thank you, Mr. Azum, and hi, Ms. Forrester, and hello to all of you who've joined us today. I want to apologize for the lighting. I'm currently in Dallas, Texas, at a regional conference for all the ISP schools, because I think something we're going to be talking about is that Willows Preparatory School is a member of the ISP Global School Network. So I've been in Dallas the past few days working with the other heads of the other schools associated with ISP to come up with some great international learning opportunities for your kiddos that you'll be enjoying next year when you sign on with Willows. So it is 8 o'clock here and I have to put my kiddos to bed soon. So I'll be kind of in and out, but I know you guys are going to really like this presentation, and thank you for giving up your evening to share it with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lippert. Okay, let's get this party started. All right, buckle your seatbelts, everyone. Here is our agenda for this evening. In the next 35 to 45 minutes, I'm going to take you on the journey that is Willows Prep. I hope that you are sitting somewhere comfortable, have some water next to you perhaps, and probably even better, your future Willows Prep students. So I know that there's some students out there today. Please know, parents, I'm going to be introducing a lot of concepts and a lot of cool things tonight in a way that's addressed to you as the adults, as well as your children that are probably sitting next to you. So it's completely optional if your child is there, but I'm going to be addressing that for that audience as well. Okay. This is our agenda. I'm going to go through all of this. You'll notice there's some real notable elements here. I have a 6th grade student video. A 6th grader wanted to speak at open house, so they recorded a video for us. And then on the other bookend, I have an 11th grader who actually recorded a video as well. As you can see, we'll go down everything you need to know about our school. And then finally, I have an 8-minute walking tour of our campus, all recorded, so you'll be able to experience that as I live narrate my journey through the campus. The other thing that I want to mention before we get started is Mrs. Forrester, our Director of Admissions, is going to be looking at the chat. The chat will be live during this presentation. I, of course, will be going through the slide deck, so I won't be able to respond as fast to you, but Mrs. Forrester can hopefully get you some answers if you hear something that inspires a question. We love questions. It's all about questions at Willows Prep. And lastly, I wanted to let you know that we will take some questions at the very end as well. If you feel more comfortable unmuting your microphone and you want to ask your question for everyone, or just maybe privately with us at the very end of the presentation. Okay, sounds good. Let's get this started. Okay, before I get started, I wanted to say one very important thing, and that is I love this school. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this presentation tonight, it's the enthusiasm that I hope you hear in my voice, okay? I've worked at this school for the last 7 years. It's been an amazing journey. We went from such a small school to a growing school to becoming IB accredited in both the middle years and the diploma program. So we've made such progress over the last few years. We have great educators, and I hope that you feel the enthusiasm in the next 35 to 45 minutes. Here are some important people that I want you to know. You saw Mrs. Forrester. She'll be answering questions in the chat. Mr. Lippert, I do have to introduce Miss Shimizu, Yuka Shimizu. She's our president and our founder. She started Willows Prep. She's where it all started. You'll also notice that we have a head of learning and instruction. Her name is Mrs. Tupin. And I'll talk briefly tonight about Carrie Clark, our college counselor, and our social emotional counselor as well. We have the full package here at Willows Prep. We want your child to be supported in every single way. All right, let's do some fast facts. Here's what you need to know. We have approximately 250 students on campus right now. They are between the grades 5, 5th grade, all the way to grade 11. You ask, why did you stop at grade 11? Well, we just started our high school, and our grade 11s will be grade 12 next year. And as you can see, our first graduating class will be in the spring of 2023. We're very, very proud of that fact. We have a beautiful 18-acre campus right on the Redmond and Woodinville border. Some of you might be driving right by it if you're coming home from the wineries, or you're going north up to Woodinville. We're right there on the corner, and you can't miss it. It's beautiful architecture. And you can see it right behind me as well. Classes, parents, this is what you need to know. Students, do a comparison of your present learning opportunities. Our class sizes are never larger than 15 students. In fact, the average class size at Willows Prep is around 13, 14 students. I talk to a lot of students during student interviews, and I hear a lot of 25, 27, 30 kids in my math class. Well, here at Willows Prep, that magic number is 15. We are an IB middle years program and diploma program world school. We are one of the only IB continuum schools in the area. We have a PYP, that's the primary years program with the IB at Bellevue Children's Academy that serves pre-K through 4th grade. And then those students move on over to Willows Prep. You'll hear some acronyms tonight. MYP stands for Middle Years Program, okay? I'll explain all of that in the presentation. And then DP stands for Diploma Program. I'll go over all those details with you as well. There's some fast facts for you. Let's talk a little bit about what makes Willows Prep special. It's all about the IB. The IB is really one of the foundational blocks of our school. I want to give a quick rundown of what that is. If you are brand new to the IB program, it's a completely different way of thinking. And this slide alone will show you how we change education in a different way. First and foremost, we must show you where it begins. It begins in the primary years program. Now, many of you tonight, you might not have experience with the primary years program, and you won't have experience because it's only for grades pre-K through 4th grade. When your child enters 5th grade or higher here at Willows Prep, they start, as it says here, the middle years program. Why is the middle years program beneficial? Well, what it is it helps students make practical connections between what they're studying and the real world. How many times, parents, have you went to school, you've learned something, and you asked yourself, how am I ever going to use this in my life? Okay? Students ask that question all the time. But here at Willows Prep, our job is to make those real world connections. So the IB program is all about bringing that knowledge that they gain during those early years and try to apply it. How do they implement it? So it's really interesting. After the middle years program is concluded, mind you, the middle years program goes from grades 5 to grade 10. It really shifts the way people think about middle school and high school. Grade 10 is the conclusion of the middle years program. In grade 11 and 12, they start the most rigorous college prep program that exists in the world. It is called the Diploma Program, and it's where students choose their courses in order to gain all the knowledge they need to study a specific college major someday. It's very well-rounded. As you can see here, students flourish intellectually, emotionally, and most importantly, ethically. There's a lot of talk of ethics when it comes to the diploma program. Let's keep going. Oh, by the way, you get all college credits, and I'll show you some fun stats that will show you the benefits of going to an IB school. 5th graders, I know many of the parents out there are parents of a 4th grader who are applying to 5th grade, okay? This is really, really special here at Willows Prep. I want to say that we have one of the greatest 5th grade teams ever. Why are they special? Well, the reason why they're special is because they need to bridge the primary years program and the middle years program. I actually have a 5th grade teacher in the attendance tonight. If you have any questions specifically about 5th grade at Willows Prep, Ms. Sorensen will be able to help you with that in the chat. So thank you so much, Ms. Sorensen, for being here. But I want to make one big announcement about the 5th grade here at Willows Prep next year. As it states, all 5th graders will move from the primary years program to the language associated with the middle years program. So we are actually going to accelerate your 5th grader to join the middle years program, which is normally associated for 6th graders, okay? What does that mean? Well, our teachers are going to baby step them through it. We are actually going to adapt everything that the 5th graders do, as you can see at the bottom of this slide, into the middle years program. And as you can see, your child will still have that sort of standard homeroom classroom experience where they'll have a teacher who teaches predominantly most of the subjects. When they get into 6th grade, that's when the class schedule explodes and they'll have teachers for all different subjects. So we do a really special transition from elementary school to middle school here at Willows Prep. If you have any questions specifically about the 5th grade, we really want you to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask a question in the chat because I have a great resource, Ms. Horrison, who's here tonight. Thank you so much for all of you being here for the 5th grade because we really appreciate you wanting to join our middle years program here next year. After that, we talk about the middle years program. What is it? Every child in grades 5 through 10 have a schedule that looks like this. They have these classes on that schedule. Now there's a few different electives that we kind of, cut into semesters, but we want you to know exactly what classes your kids are going to be taking. First, before that, I want to highlight my favorite things about the middle years program. In fact, I'll say these are my favorite things about IB. 1, it's rigorous. If your child has ever come home from school and said, "I'm bored," the IB program is for him or her. Why? Because it's challenging. We ask students to think deeper on a variety of topics. We don't want to just go on the surface and expand their knowledge. We want it to go with depth. Next, it's interdisciplinary. Did you know that at Willows Prep, our teachers every morning have collaboration meetings? Why do they need collaboration meetings? Because they need to be able to link up the lessons they're learning across all grades with different subject areas. In other words, your child, when they're in science class, will know exactly what they're also learning in math. They will be able to see a connection between design and individuals and societies. All the teachers are linking things together. It's really exciting. The next, it's about service learning. How do we take this knowledge and this understanding that we're gaining and give back to others? Parents, I know you out there. You want your child to develop a deeper sense of empathy. It's something I'm very passionate about here at Willows Prep, and we do that through connecting service learning to the IB program. We educate the whole child, all subjects are equal, and then finally, we want them to become world citizens. That's why we talk a lot about international mindedness, okay? Our students are very diverse. I'll show you a language and country profile a little bit later, and you'll really enjoy that, I hope. Here are the 8 subjects that your child will take. They will take language and literature, individuals and societies, which is like, I like to call social studies on steroids, mathematics, which is a beautiful hybrid, which I'm happy to talk more about as well. The arts, we offer visual art, music, and performing arts. We have the sciences, another beautiful hybrid of a lot of different subjects together. Design, which is kind of like robotics and computer programming, a very popular class here on the east side of Seattle. We have physical education and health. And finally, we teach Spanish as our language acquisition. All students learn Spanish at Willows Prep. It's our foreign language. You can learn a lot about that on our website as well, and it's really exciting. Take a look at this sample schedule. After this, I'm going to play you a little video from one of our 6th graders who prepared a video for all of you. You'll notice here that this is a sample schedule for a 6th grade student. You'll notice that in this chart, you'll see the frequency of how many of those classes they take per week and what are the names of those classes. You'll also see our timetable. This is the academic schedule for every student at Willows Prep, whether they're in grades 5 all the way to 11, okay? We start school at 8:30, we end at 3:25. There are 6 55-minute periods, and we have lunch and recess for all students, 5th graders and 11th graders. You believe that? And you'll notice that we alternate with some of those arts electives at the bottom. And why don't I just let a student tell you a little bit more about their experience as a 6th grader. Bear with me as I get this as I stop presenting and I play a little video for you here. This is Cordell.
It's a very positive environment that allows me to embrace. Hello families, welcome to Willows Preparatory School. My name is Cordell Jones and I am a 6th grader here at WPS. Today, I will share the great aspects that WPS provides and why I treasure attending this school. Willows Preparatory School has a very positive environment that allows me to embrace my interests and support my peers while learning. Every day at WPS, I feel that I am able to explore several areas of studies and prepare myself day by day for the future. From the beginning of the school year, I have experienced wonderful memories with teachers and peers. A memorable moment that I experienced was on the first day of middle school, when I was welcomed into a loving and kind community. This was when I realized I am accepted for who I am and aspired to be. One teacher that has made a meaningful relationship to me is my math teacher, Mr. Deneen. In 6th grade, Mr. Deneen has taught me concepts of advanced math, and he volunteers to review these concepts until I gain a clear understanding of them. Another teacher I've made a meaningful relationship with is my INS teacher, Mr. Hollister, because he has taught me the importance of how IB principles are and how they affect a person's morals and beliefs. Before starting middle school, I previously attended Bellevue Children's Academy since pre-K, where I had long-lasting friendships. This year in middle school, I've made new peer groups who I study and socialized with. The caring community has allowed me to expand my peer relationships. During middle school at WPS, I look forward to participating in the community service and taking on leadership in roles such as student government. Also, I look forward to continuing my studies at a high level of excellence. WPS is an outstanding middle school for all to attend. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cordell. That was excellent. So as you can see, everyone, that is a 6th grader here at our school. And I'm going to go back to my presentation here. Hopefully that works for everyone. The thing I want you to take away from Cordell's recorded speech there is him saying how he appreciates it being a kind and loving environment. I think that's something that I really appreciate him mentioning in that video there. It's something we really try, and I think it's important we support those students who want that sort of environment as well. Okay, good. So thank you so much, Cordell. I'm going to move on to my next slide here because I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a high school student here. Parents, I know your child is going into 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Maybe you're even applying to join our high school. You need to know where this all leads. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to be an older middle school or a higher high school student, okay? This is what it's like to be a 9th or 10th grade student. As you can see, their frequency of classes changes slightly, and they get more of a choice when it comes to some of their electives, okay? But their schedules are very comparable to that of the middle school. Same class sizes, and of course, the same subject areas, just on a different level. Teachers are able to plan horizontally as well as vertically. It's really important that all those grade levels are connected. So our teachers do a fantastic job of that. Next, we enter the diploma program. Now, this is really important. If you are applying today to come to our 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, this is your future. This is what it's gonna look like when your child enters high school here at Willows Prep. We do the IB Diploma Program. It's all to prepare students for the most rigorous program that exists in the world. I'm going to prove it to you with some statistics when it comes to college acceptances. You'll see that the DP diploma involves students choosing 6 courses, 3 of them at a higher level and 3 of them at a standard level. Only thing difference between those is that some of them they take more frequently than others. But the ones they choose at the higher level are the ones that they really want to study later in life or in college. They have many disciplines to choose from, and they have a series of classes that are very unique to only IB students. Those are the theory of knowledge, the extended essay. Your child will write a dissertation before they graduate from high school. And then finally, they have the CAS, or the Creativity Action Service. I am the CAS coordinator here at the school, and what that means is I help students organize their community service, their activity, and their creative pursuits when it comes to applying for college. It's really fantastic, and we have a whole IB brochure on our website that's linked there that you'll be able to click when you receive this presentation. Let's take a look at 2 students, though. These are two real students here at Willows Prep, Kara and Ibrahim. And I wanted you to see who they were because we offer diverse pathways. Some of you out there who work in technology here on the East Side, you might resonate a lot with Ibrahim because as you can see, his goals are to become a computer scientist or an engineer someday. Kara, on the other hand, as you can see, wants to study forensic psychiatry as well as theater arts. You're going to hear from Kara today because I have an equal video from her. But as you can see, these two students are radically different. They are students in the same grade, but they take a very different course load. Some classes they might share, and others they've chosen higher or lower courses. It's fascinating. Ibrahim is taking design technology, which is advanced computer science and robotics, mathematics, application interpretation, and physics. But Kara, on the other hand, is taking psychology, language and literature, and chemistry all at the higher level. It's amazing how these two students are together, but at the same time, they show the pathways from our students. Let's take a listen from Kara, who prepared a video for all of you tonight. This is an 11th grader named Kara at our school.
Hi, my name is Kara Pershner, and I'm an 11th grade student at Willows Prep, and that's an exciting title to have because I get a little inside perspective on how things work, and to be honest, here it's really great, and especially as I've entered the DP program, I get just a slight bit more academic freedom, and as a teenager, who doesn't like a little bit more freedom? Anyways, my favorite subject where I am able to exercise that is TOK. TOK is theory of knowledge, and so it's slightly like philosophy, not really, but it's more how do we know this certain thing. And although it is a required subject for the DP program, it doesn't necessarily feel like it. I always text my friends about it, or it always percolates into our conversations because it's something that really means something to us, because normally in a classroom, unlike the IB program, maybe you aren't really allowed to have these different opinions or talk about these different things that may stray from the lesson plan, but it's encouraged here in this extremely dialogue-heavy class, certainly critical thinking and different perspectives and how to support your arguments. And it helps you, strangely, it helps you learn about yourself and your community more, which I value a lot, being a teenager and figuring out who I am. But something that makes that extra special is the teacher who teaches it, and that's Mr. Smith. He's so fantastic because he always seems to walk into the room really excited to teach the lesson, and he has so much on his mind, and he always has so many inspirational things to say, and that's really fantastic when you're in this environment where maybe you're tired and you had a big homework load or whatever, and you're able to be excited about what you learn because the teacher who is teaching it to you is excited. And I'm not saying that most of the other classes aren't that way, because TOK is implemented into a lot of the other classes, and so we have a little bit of snippets in math or biology or language, and I notice a lot of times in biology it's like, how do the scientists know this, or what is the process of evaluation, and how does that affect things later in life? And I really appreciate that because I feel like it gives me very well-rounded education. And so that's here at Willows Prep, and I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited for next year. So yay, thank you. Come to Willows.
Thank you, Kara. That's excellent. Very nice. Let me return to all of you. Okay. So I hope that you understood Kara's understanding of the enthusiasm a lot of our teachers bring to the classroom as well. Probably one of the most fascinating things that Kara mentioned there is how she's making interdisciplinary connections between all of her classes through that one TOK, or a theory of knowledge class. That's pretty remarkable. All right, wonderful. So let's keep going here. What is the IB Advantage? Now, parents, I know even if your child is entering 5th grade, he or she needs to start thinking about the next big steps. And the next big steps, of course, are that big Where am I going to go to college? Now, I want you to know that we take that question really seriously here at Willows Prep. We have a full-time college counselor. As you can see, this person helps with test prep, strategic approaches to course selection, CV cultivation, and finally, the full college application process. We want parents to know that they will not need to outsource for a college counselor. If that's news to you, a lot of parents on the east side of Seattle do that. We don't need you to do that because here at Willows Prep, we provide it all for you. The IB Advantage is really remarkable. If you can see on this slide, we have a lot of amazing statistics, but they were probably not compared to what real colleges out there say about the IB program. You'll notice that you'll be able to preview some quotes from some IB counselors college counselors from all over the world. The one fact that I will read to you on this page is number 2. The acceptance rate of IB students into college is 22% higher compared to the total population. Why is that? Because they are better prepared to find success when they get into college, okay? Check this out. Let's just take MIT, for example. Did you know that they have a 7.2% acceptance rate? But with IB DP students, that's 23%. Another college that all of you know, Stanford, 4.6% is their acceptance rate. Wow. But IB students, 17%. Last but not least, Harvard University, you'll see that they have a 5.1%. And that goes all the way up to 12.2. The IB Advantage is big, and we get the kids started on it right away here in 5th grade with the middle years program. Okay, so let's talk about the students. Students out there, I know you're waiting for it. This is all about you, okay? Here we go, student life. First, I want you to know who we are. I'm very proud of this slide. If there's a slide that I think I'm the most proud of in this whole presentation, it might be this one. Why? Because it shows you the melting pot that is Willows Prep. Last time we polled all of our students here at this school, we have 33 languages spoken by our student body. Now, it doesn't mean that they read and write and speak them all fluently, but they're exposed to them at home when they go on a trip to see family around the world, with Russian, Hindi, Mandarin, and Japanese being the most popular ones. As you can see here, these are the countries around the world that our students have a family bond with, whether their family grew up there or they go travel there to see a relative. The languages are amazing, okay? We teach Spanish as a foreign language, but most of our students, after they go through their Spanish lessons, are trilingual. I had an amazing story I have when I first started teaching here where I passed the phone at a cross-country meet to a student. They spoke Japanese. The next student passed the phone. They spoke Russian. The next student passed the phone. They spoke Mandarin. It was just an amazing moment where I realized, wow, this is an amazing, diverse environment. All of our classes are taught in English. All of our students speak fluent English, read, write, and think. So yeah, this is an important slide. Next, extracurricular activities. Now, I'm very passionate in it because I am a club sponsor at the school as well. I'm very proud of my debate team here at the school. Maybe you've heard of them. They are an award-winning team. But we have a growing athletic program for most of our 6th through 8th grade students, 5th through 8th grade students. And we're still growing our high school to build up an athletic program. But here you'll see the sports that we play in each season of the year. Okay, we have a beautiful gymnasium when it gets cold and rainy outside. You'll see pictures of that. And as you can see here, if you look down here, these are the clubs that we have been able to hold, COVID aside. We have been able to hold all of these clubs throughout the last 2 years at our school. I'm very proud of my debate, but you can see here that there's something for everyone. If your kid is artistic, there's art club, there's film club, there's media club, there's creative writing. If they love robotics or code, they can get into, our robotics, which goes from an intro to a highly competitive varsity sort of team. We have Model United Nations, and that goes on and on. If your kid has a green thumb, they can join our green team because they are always busy promoting sustainability at our school. There's something for everyone here, and I'm happy to talk more about that as well. Technology and the arts, I won't spend too much time on this, but man, do we do it well here at Willows Prep. We love technology. We have some fantastic design teachers. I used to be a design teacher at the school, so I'm very proud of what we do with the students. We baby step them into technology and the design thinking models. We love when they build things using different Adobe products. We do a lot of 3D printing. We have a beautiful laser cutter that's being built at our school right now. We have a full art studio, and of course, we have an amazing band that plays music and a theater department that has a big production in the spring. So we're very excited about the technology and the arts at our school. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like to be a student here when it comes to computers and all the systems that we use. Your child, starting in 5th grade, will have a laptop. We're a one-to-one learning environment. You'll see that little sticker in the middle of the slide. It is showing that we are a Microsoft Showcase school. What does that mean? We use exclusively Microsoft products, and your child will have an Office account. We use a product called ManageBack. That's assigning homework. Parents use it to check grades. Teachers create report cards using that. And that's kind of the portal into your child's education and how they're doing, checking their progress. And then, of course, Microsoft OneNote is where teachers organize all of the learning materials that occur in class. Hey, everyone, this is a question I get every open house. Number one question. The question is, how much homework does my child receive at Willows Prep? Well, homework is about quality and not quantity. We need to remember that. It's about going deep and not going long. So if you look at the last bullet point on this slide, you'll notice that 5th and 6th graders usually receive about 30 to 45 minutes of homework a night. That's manageable. A lot of my 5th graders and 6th graders manage that very easily. Some of them will stay after school and work on it. Some of them get it done before they go to bed, and it's very manageable, and we do a good job of trying to manage that load. As I get into 7th and 8th grade, that turns into more about an hour, okay? And then, of course, as they enter those 9th through 12th grade years, it's more than an hour and a half, okay? We need to prepare them for those higher level exams, and so a lot of the work they do is independent work at home. So I want you to know that we baby step them into it. We're very, very mindful of our homework load, and we want to make sure our students perfect their craft at home as well. Thank you for that. Our fantastic teachers. Our teachers are great. I could talk about the teachers for 2 hours, but I won't. I want to focus on number 3 on this slide. Okay, number 3 tells you how we look for great teachers. We want teachers who are creative, open-minded problem solvers. Teachers who know your child and actively monitor their progress. You know what's something amazing about Willows Prep? And I am going to quote a student who's now at UW right now. He was one of my 8th graders. He came back and said, you know what, Mr. Razum, the special thing about Willows Prep is all my teachers knew who I was. And that's something I think we take for granted here at Willows Prep because every teacher knows every kid and we watch them all the time. It's really amazing to not be a number at Willows Prep. Our teachers collaborate. They have a growing professional development that we're implementing for them, of course, in the course of the year about IB. And of course, they have a lot of different certifications and degrees from all over the world as well. We're always looking for people with international experience as well. Hey, here's a few of them. You'll be able to read this when you have this slide deck, but I just want to highlight a few great people. You heard Cordell in 6th grade mention Mr. Deneen in math, as well as Mr. Hollister, okay? You'll notice there's some great art teachers with Mr. Narmita listed here. We have a lot of teachers who have advanced science degrees and math degrees who have taught all over the world. And hey, we even have some teachers here that love salsa dancing just as much as teaching. So that's great too. Shout out to a lot of these teachers here who are being highlighted. You'll be able to read more and connect more with them in the future as well. Let's talk a little bit about our campus, which is beautiful. If everyone wants to kind of lean into their screen here and take a look at this slide, this is just one of those Google Maps to show you our 18-acre campus. The reason why this is important is because I want to show you the development we're making. First, you'll notice that a lot of these buildings, the East and the West building, were built just recently. All new facilities. It's all brand new, and we're doing amazing renovations that are happening right now in the main building, the building behind me right here. We're building more classrooms, and of course, we're expanding our outdoor space as well. We have a beautiful athletic field that we're going to be going through as well, and there's actually a new site of outdoor space that we're going to be giving to some of our younger students when it comes to their outdoor time as well. Just a few pictures. You'll see this in the virtual tour. Here's all brand new gym floor that we put down. Got a rock climbing wall as well. Really great PE and health to take place in here, as well as some athletic events. You'll be able to see how this is connected to our stage for big performances as well. In the future, we're going through a big redesign. This is all graphic images, computer digital images that are going to be created with our new makerspace. That design class is really taken off, so we want to give it a special place at the school. We're creating a brand new library space with all new classrooms around it. You'll be able to see what it was in the past compared to some of these projects. These are all going to be finished around Thanksgiving. Just some more great pictures about what this building's going to look like, but you'll see this all in our virtual tour a little bit later. Let's talk a little bit about international experiences. What's special about Willows Prep is we are connected to 50 other schools around the world. Okay? They are in 12 countries because we are an ISP school, or an International Schools Partnership. I'm a big fan of ISP because they provide a lot of professional development for our teachers and for myself. They also provide a lot of opportunities for our students. Our students are going to be able to travel the world through international exchanges, for Model UN conferences, through our film festivals, math and chess competitions. It's really amazing when you can actually watch your child compete in a chess match against a student live in Spain or in Indonesia. These are all countries that are all represented in the International Schools Partnership. A lot of our high school students are going to have opportunities to travel during their experience as well. How amazing would that be on a college application, that I was able to travel to Malaysia for a Model UN conference? So we make that happen here at Willows Prep. Logistics and schedules. So parents, I think this is something you're the most interested in. How do I get my kid to school every day? Right now, we're of course in a COVID restriction right now with our shuttle service, but it's important we explain to you how we move students back and forth between Willows Prep and our PYP program at Bellevue Children's Academy. If you take a look at that map, we're about a 19-minute drive between BCA and WPS. Our academic hours go from 8:30 to 3:25, okay? So a lot of our morning students in the future will either get dropped off at our school or they'll take that morning shuttle from BCA. If you're coming from south, we're Issaquah or in Bellevue, you can get that shuttle service that goes north. You'll notice here that we're also exploring additional pickup and drop-off areas in Kirkland and Sammamish as well. So we're actually trying to expand this, of course, in the year. It's been difficult with COVID, but we really want to make it take off for next year. The shuttle services at the end of the day go back to BCA at 3:45. That's right after the school day is over with, so you can pick up your child at BCA, or again at 4:45, which is after our school clubs conclude. So you can see that that shuttle goes back and forth, and that shuttle is right there, as you can see in that picture right there. So these are all amazing opportunities to get your kid moving around. These will all develop in the next few months as we start to slowly return to normal, fingers crossed, okay? We're happy to answer more questions about that as well. Admissions, Mrs. Forrester is here. She's going to answer all your questions about admissions. I can see the bubble popping up in the chat with questions about admissions. This is really important. But there is a website that you can go to. It's our admissions prep, our admissions page on the Willows Prep website gives you all the steps. Ms. Forrester, I see you came up. If you want to unmute real quick and say anything more about this slide.
Yeah, so all of you who apply, Mr. Razum, am I echoing?
Nope, you sound fine with me.
Oh, that's fabulous. I do not like the echo. All right, so all of you who apply, who are interested in applying, you can see there's our link to our admissions page at Willows Prep. Once you apply, you will get an email confirmation from me that will tell you all the next steps. So I make it very easy. I lay it out for you so you know exactly what to do. The next steps will be submitting an online application and supplemental forms. Those include parent statement, grade report, teacher recommendations, state test scores. We do not ask for a specific test score, but we like a standardized test score. I know during COVID this can be tricky, so you can talk to me, you can email me if you're having challenges because of COVID, having those standardized test scores. And once 50% of your supplemental forms are complete, then I will contact you, and either I or Mr. Razum will do a wonderful interview with the student. My favorite part, I know that's Mr. Razum's favorite part too. And our priority enrollment deadline is February 11th. After this date, we still accept applicants, but it's on a space available basis.
Excellent. Okay, good. Thank you for answering a lot of those questions too. Okay, good. Tuition and fees. We want to share with you what we're presently, what the tuition is presently here at this school year. You'll notice that we do list there the Ravenna fee, as Ms. Forrester mentioned, and a few additional fees right at the point where you you enter our school. But these are our grade 5 through 12 tuition rates for this present year. We'll be releasing our next tuition numbers in the next few weeks as we finalize that for next year. This is our first open house of the year, so we'll have those numbers for you very soon. But as you can see here, this is there's payment options, as well as I listed at the bottom there just a few extra things that you might take advantage of that are more or less optional. You don't need to buy a new computer for your child if you already have one. You don't need to order hot lunch unless you'd like to. We offer hot lunch in our kitchen, vegetarian, vegan options as well. And of course, there's extra clubs and things like that too that carry some small fees as well. So we wanted to keep you there. You'll be able to review this and talk to Ms. Forrester about it as well. Family involvement, we have an amazing parents association. Shout out to them. They do a lot of great things for us. Can't wait to get out of this COVID period because they do a lot of field trips. They bring in guest speakers. They do a lot of fun stuff for our students. They're really great, and they're really helpful if you are a new family to our school. They can get you involved, and you can contact them directly. They have a fantastic fundraiser every year. That's a lot of fun, and they're happy to talk to all parents as well. It's really great to be a part of the PA. And let's do some final thoughts before we get into our virtual tour. Hey everyone, we're at the end. Here are the final thoughts. Your child will be a big fish in a small pond. It's the thing I think I love the most about Willows Prep. We can build closer relationships with students and families. I know every student in almost every grade. I know their hobbies. I know their siblings. I talk to their parents. It's easy because it's small. And we really, really want you to be a part of that community. It's much more personalized here. The IB Advantage, as you can see, it all leads to something much grander where you can get into college in a much higher rate with those dream schools. We talk a lot about things that go very deep, and we provide a lot of services to you that you will never need to outsource for. We have a beautiful campus that's expanding, a lot of new things, a gym, stage, laboratories, makerspace, libraries. All these things are being renovated and built right now. And next year is going to be a pretty amazing year at Willows Prep when this construction is concluded. Courses and social choices. We want you to know that you can be a leader in a club. I was talking to a student the other day who went to a big public high school, and he said, I have to be in JV for a few years and then I can be in varsity. Well, here at Willows Prep, for debate, you're on varsity right away. We'll throw you in because you can be a leader immediately. And then last but not least, international learning opportunities. We want you to be able to travel the world if you choose and see the world and experience it, because the goal ultimately is to become a world citizen. Thank you so much. Here are 2 email addresses that I need you to know. info@willowsprep.com. That goes right to the front desk here at Willows Prep. And for Mrs. Forrester, admissions@bcacademy.com. Again, everything will be shared with you, including this recording and this slide deck. If it's okay with everyone, let's go on a virtual walking tour of our campus, and then we're going to take some Q&A. Don't be afraid to throw your questions in the chat, and Ms. Forrester can ask those if you need to leave. But I would like to try to keep this real nice and tight, right around 1 hour or so. Okay, so I'm going to stop presenting my screen here, and I'm going to get into our virtual walking tour. Thank you so much for your patience here. Okay. As I slowly open this up here. All right, perfect. Let me come back to you now. I'm going to live narrate over this. Mrs. Forrester, can you confirm that you see the upper field right now?
I do. It looks very nice.
Okay, great. So this was all recorded. I like authentic tours. I can't wait to get all of you back into the building and show you what we can do inside this building. So I'm hoping that's coming soon. But for now, we're going to take a walk that was recorded, as you can see, on a dreary day here in the east side of Seattle. As you can see here, this is the upper parking lot area that I'm looking. On a beautiful, clear day, you can see the mountains from up here. It's pretty amazing. The kids play a lot of athletics out here on the field. As I slowly make my way back across the outside, I'm going to go right into an art class. You'll notice this was filmed at the end of last year, so this is a lot of social distancing that still applies now. Kids are all masked up. This is in our art studio, but you can see Mr. Narmita there with our students as they're making their way through the visual art class right there. As we move away from the art class, you'll see some students in PE class. Look at this. Don't you want to join this dodgeball game right now? Look at that. You can see our stage, which is back there behind those black walls, so the ball doesn't go and hit those people back there. And you can see our beautiful gym floor that was just renewed. You can see the rock climbing wall there in the back. You'll also notice that there's projection screens. I can put 1,000 people in here someday and turn it into a huge movie theater. So it's pretty amazing, the facility we have there. As you can see here, this is one of the main building areas. If you look down into our lobby, you'll be able to see a lot of natural light sort of flows into this area. This classroom space over here has been on the right side is used for our 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th graders presently. Okay, there are 6 classrooms back there. As I make my way over here to the left of the balcony, I'll show you into one of our physics labs. This lab is mostly used for physics. This was our old makerspace. All of this is under construction right now. We're building that state-of-the-art makerspace lab in this area, and this is one of our physics labs that used for robotic practices. As I come down the most well-traveled stairs in America, that's what I like to call them, because students are always going up and down, up and down. We'll go down to this lobby area. As I make my way here to the right, you'll notice that you will see a music room that's going to be showcasing. You'll see the health check stations in the front there as the students enter the school building. Again, all that natural light that kind of flows in through the school. The music room, this is our temporary spot for music as the construction goes on. It's right here. You can see a lot of social distancing, but students learn music in this real small class sizes. It's pretty fun. And as we spin around, we'll go here. You'll take a look at our cafeteria. Students have different sections that they eat lunch with in the course of the day. We have a full kitchen, hot lunch, vegetarian, vegan options, of course, available. This was our old library. All of this is under construction right now here at Willows Prep. We're turning this into more classroom spaces and expanding the library. This is on the exterior of the main building right now. And what I'm going to do is essentially walk the pathway that a student would walk as they're dropped off in the front of the day. You'll see those red arrows. I'm going to walk over to our brand new east and west buildings. The students walk this pathway to get to their classes. Our 7th graders are located mostly in this east building right here. There's a beautiful rooftop terrace. Our students love right now to come out here and get some fresh air. Sometimes I see drama classes that go out there to do activities where they need to move around more and interact in a safe environment. On a clear day, you can imagine the view that you can see all the way down into Woodinville. That's the Sammamish River Trail back there you can see. And you can also see a good view of our solar panel array. That produces about 12% of all the electricity that we use here on campus. So we try to incorporate a lot of green school elements into our school as well. I'm going to walk slowly down into the east building right now, just so you can see some of the cool elements that are in this specific building. You can see some 7th grade classrooms straight ahead. This was again during our COVID period, so all the desks are very socially distanced from each other. We got some bathrooms here. As I loop around, this is where, right back there is where our counselor's office exists. This is a fun place. As I make my way down here when I have tours in the future, I will stop you here and I will then lead you immediately into this next room. This is called the Future Classroom. The Future Classroom is a classroom designed by a Japanese education firm where we have these huge projector screens that fill this room. Everything is Bluetooth connected, so all of our students can allocate space in the projector, and they can move around the building or move around the room on these really cool chairs on wheels. And you can see here that I've got some blue, green, yellow, and orange. Hey, everyone, let's pair together in groups and collaborate together. It's really a fun way for our students to do some fun things that supplement their lessons. We have some additional classrooms here as well. You can see this room over here on the left with the students at the time were doing some green screening. This is kind of a media room right here. So they were making some cool videos using a green screen. This is our higher level chemistry and biology lab. Everything you see here was modeled after the University of Washington. We basically just picked a lab right out of their school and placed it right in our lab. So you can see all the Bunsen burners, the gas, the water, and the sinks, all the outlets there as well. So it's a higher level lab. That's where our DP physics and DP biology classes are held. I'm going to walk into the West building now. The West building is easily identified as the jagged roof building. You can see it coming in from Woodinville if you're driving down Woodinville-Redmond Road. As we make our way up here, you'll see that the section that I'm about to enter now is reserved presently for our 5th grade. And this section last year was reserved for some of our older students. So as I key card beep, enter the door, I'll end up on the other side. You can see there are 5 classrooms here. These were a small class that was I was observing on the left side here, a 10th grade classroom. I'll pop my head in here to say hello to them. You can see they're on their computers, socially distanced, high ceilings, a lot of beautiful fixtures, hardwood floors. And each floor has its own bathroom. As I make my way across here, you can see there's an exit portal here that goes to that other solar lot. I'll make my way here. There are 5 classrooms on this floor. I'll peek in through the window of this classroom here on the right. You can see this, I think, was a design class that was going on. Students are all working hard in that classroom. They see me. And again, the bathrooms. I like to show people the bathrooms. Of course, there was no one in here when I entered, but it's important for parents to see this because I think it's important. You want to see where your child has a spot, to use the restroom if they need to. Men's room, women's room here. We have faculty bathrooms that are separate as well. I'm going to make my way up this beautiful staircase up to where our 6th graders have their hallway. If your child is applying for 6th grade, there's a good chance they'll have classrooms that look a little bit like this. Here are my students collaborating in a little lounge area right there. They see me coming. They're going to slowly scoot away. And then, of course, they have this nice learning space up here where they can work together and get their assignments completed. I'll pop in. They see me. Hello. Yes, they see me. Okay. Socially distanced. Okay, with their masks on. I make my way out here, and as I make my way back across these 5 classrooms, I'll step outside, and you will see where I all started. Walking back across this little catwalk area into the rooftop terrace, and then, of course, looking back at our main building right there, the building right behind me right here. Excellent. All right, I did that all in 8 minutes or so. I like that. Okay, I'm coming back to you now. All right. Ms. Forrester, Mr. Lippert, that is it when it comes to our open house. I hope I kept that. Yes, it's not 7 o'clock yet. Eloquence and brevity. So what we can do now is we can answer some questions for you. Mr. Lippert is also still here. He might be able to help, but if not, I'm super happy to answer some questions for you. Ms. Forrester, is anything that you can share from the chat that maybe the collective group might want to know?
Yeah, so one question we had was about trips. If there's any required trips. Of course, we're not doing trips now, but generally, are there any required trips or projects or anything that the kids are expected to do each year?
That's a great question. I'd love to answer it. Ms. Forrester, before I answer that question, we can hit the stop recording button if you'd like, just so we can keep some of these questions private if they need to. Okay, great. Hey.